City of Montpelier on the edge again as the Winooski River rose today. Thanks for joining us at 6. I'm Kat Villianzoni.
And I'm Darren Perrin. Large chunks of ice clogged up a section of the river, causing water levels to rise and fast.
Channel 3's Cam Smith shows us how crews were able to get out of the jam.
Water levels rise near flood stage in Montpelier Monday after temperatures soar and ice jams.
When you get an ice jam flood, the river level comes up very quickly because you're basically restricting the water flow through. So you don't have a lot of time to do preventative measures.
They happen when warm weather follows periods of cold and ice chunks pile up. Officials say this spot at the Bailey Ave Bridge along the Winooski River is prone to ice jams and even caused significant flooding back in 1992. On Monday, the gauge on the Winooski River reached over 9 feet, only 2 feet shy of flood stage.
Luckily, we do have things set up. We have a contractor on standby to bring a long reach excavator out in case we had to kind of push the ice downstream, and we also have our ice melting system.
The city of Montpelier got this flood prevention system back in 2007, which crews say is vital in times like this.
So we use the treated effluent from the wastewater plant. We pump it up along the bike path, and we have discharge points that we use to melt the ice. So the effluent is about 42 degrees. So after an hour or two, you can actually, start cutting a channel through the ice and allows a path for the water flow to get by.
The system uses effluent or treated sewer water, and city officials say it worked as intended. The jam was freed up just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. They say ice is free and moving smoothly, but the system will remain in place overnight should ice begin to accumulate again. In Montpelier, Cam Smith, Channel 3 News.
Cam, thank you very much. There were concerns about the Ausable 2 in New York. Jess, what do you know?
Well, we had those 2 small ice jams reported today, the one we just heard about in Montpelier, but we did have a small one in Ausable as well. So the good news is those have been cleared. There was a flood warning earlier this morning for the Ausable River near Ausable Forks, but that has been long since dropped.
Great.
And the one thing that did work in our favor is, although we did have ice on the rivers, of course, from recent cold weather, rapid rises from both snowmelt and rain earlier in the day, the steadier rain has moved out, and the ice itself was relatively thin, so even though we did have a couple of jams, they were pretty short-lived there.
Good.
So I'll show you actually what these looked like when we had the ice jams in both Montpelier and the Ausable River. Look at Montpelier earlier. You can see that brief spike early this afternoon just before 1 o'clock and then quickly coming back down. Thankfully did not get up into flood stage here. Now the river gauge on the Ausable River, that one did get into minor flood stage earlier in the morning hours of today. But again, quick spike and then rapidly dropped back down. Then you could see this gradual rise, of course, from just general melting and snow melts. Not too concerned about any additional issues, but of course, if you live along those rivers, keep monitoring things through the evening tonight. Another thing today is it was very warm. This morning got to 60 in Burlington in the mid-morning hours. That's a record high for today. Widespread 50s, well above normal for this time of year. At this point, we're looking at 40s for the most part, 36 in Saranac Lake. We do have a little bit of additional moisture swinging through that does come with some very light showers, some minor snow accumulations in the Adirondacks tonight. But the good news is as we head into New Year's Eve, looking nice and quiet. I'll have a look at what the weather is to ring in 2025 coming up.
Jess, thank you.